Hello students, welcome to my physics class. This is Shimi Roy from Techno India Group Public School, Shiliguri, and today we are going to learn a new topic from our chapter Winds, Storms and Cyclones. In our previous class, we have learned how thunderstorms are formed. We have also learned what are the precautions which we have to take during a thunderstorm. Today we are going to learn about one more disaster which high-speed wind can cause. That is cyclone. But before we describe a cyclone, it is necessary to know what supplies energy to form and sustain a cyclone. Cyclone comes from the heat of condensation of water vapor present in moist air rising from the surface of hot sea water. We know that water absorbs heat and changes into water vapor. This absorbed heat gets stored in water vapor. Now, when water vapor gets cooled and condenses to form liquid water, it releases the stored heat. This is called the heat of condensation. A cyclone is powered by the heat of condensation of water vapor present in the warm, high moisture air which rises from the warm sea and condenses at high altitude to form clouds. The sea water becomes warm because it is heated by the sun's heat rays. It is the warm sea water which produces heat continuously for the evaporation of water to form water vapor. Let us now discuss the cyclone in details. Water on the surface of earth absorbs heat and gets changed into vapor. This water vapor moves higher in the atmosphere. It carries heat along with it. The higher region of atmosphere are cooler. This condenses the water vapor into water drop. When vapor cools down, it releases the absorbed heat into the atmosphere. The heat warms up the air, which once again causes it to rise up. The air from the surrounding areas rushes in. This sequence of events is repeated continuously. Therefore, this cycle is a result of formation of very low pressure system with high wind speed revolving around it. This weather phenomena is known as a cyclone. The low pressure center of cyclone is known as the eye of the cyclone. It is very calm. The center of the storm is actually free from storm and rain. Formation of a cyclone depends on the factors like wind speed, wind direction, humidity and temperature. Up to now, we have learned how cyclones are formed. We have learned the weather condition consisting of a system of high-speed wind revolving around a central area of very low pressure is the cyclone. Cyclones are the greatest storm on earth. Cyclone can cause a lot of destruction to life, property, communication system and facilities because floods can make the soil infertile. The rainfall caused during a cyclone is so strong that human cannot overcome it. Up to now, we have discussed how cyclones are formed and how it can be so destructive. The following safety measures should be taken by a government for the people living in cyclone coastal areas to prevent cyclone-related disasters. Government vehicles such as buses, trucks, etc. should be kept ready to evacuate people likely to be affected by cyclone from their home and move them fast to a safer place, such as cyclone shelters. The cyclone warning should be communicated rapidly to the concerned government agencies, ports, ships, fishermen and general public living in coastal areas through radio, television, telephones, newspapers and other means. Cyclone shelters should be constructed in cyclone-prone coastal areas. Cyclone shelters are strong buildings usually built on pillars which can withstand high-speed cyclone winds and where cyclones flood water cannot enter. An efficient cyclone forecast and warning service is essential to prevent cyclone disasters. We know that cyclones can be so destructive, but the following advanced planning is required by the people living in cyclone-prone coastal areas if a cyclone warning has been issued in their areas. The following advanced planning is required by the people living in cyclone-prone coastal areas if a cyclone warning has been issued in their areas. Do not ignore the cyclone warning issued by meteorological department through newspaper, radio or television. Make necessary arrangement to shift the essential household goods and domestic animals to a safer place. Keep ready the telephone number of all the emergency services like police, fire brigade and hospitals. Remain in a state of preparedness to evacuate the short notice when asked to do by the authorities. Now, let us discuss some precautions which to be taken after the cyclone hits an area. If a person lives in an area which has been hit by a cyclone, the following precautions should be observed. Do not drink water that could be contaminated by flood to avoid waterborne disease. Drink only clean water which has been stored for emergencies. Do not touch wet electrical switches and fallen electrical power lines. Do not use electrical appliances if wet. Do not enter damaged buildings or flood waters. Avoid driving on roads through standing water as floods may have damaged the roads. Do not go out just for the sake of fun. Keep listening to the local radio for advice. Go out only when it is safe to do so. Do not pressurize the rescue team by making unnecessary demands. Cooperate with the rescue teams and help for neighbors and friends. In the earlier part of the last century, the available technology was not able to detect the approaching cyclones much in advance. In those days, the people living in coastal areas had less than a day to prepare and evacuate their homes to protect themselves from an oncoming cyclone. But the situation today is very different. Due to the advance in technology, we now have satellites and radars. By making use of satellites and radars, a cyclone alert is now issued 48 hours in advance of any accepted storm, and a cyclone warning is issued 24 hours in advance. This gives sufficient time to people to prepare and evacuate. The cyclone related messages is broadcast over radio every hour when a cyclone is nearer the coast. Thus, advanced technology has helped in giving us better protection from cyclones. Up to now, we have discussed how cyclones are formed and what effective safety measures which we have to take during a cyclones. In some countries, tornadoes are also seen. Now, let us discuss what are tornadoes. A tornado is a violent storm with a column of rapidly rotating winds having the appearance of a dark funnel-shaped cloud that reaches from the sky to the ground. Most of the tornadoes are weak, but a violent tornado can travel at speed of about 300 km per hour. It can uproot trees, electric poles, and can damage power supply and telecommunications. A violent tornado can sometimes lift people and vehicles off the ground and throw them hundreds of meters away. This can cause death of many people and can damage to vehicles. tornado can cause extensive damage to building. When a tornado passes over a building, it sucks up air from around the building. This makes the pressure on the outside of the building much lower than on the inside, and the building can explode. But by taking some precautionary measures, we can protect ourselves during tornadoes. We have to take shelter in a room situated deep inside the house, having no windows, or in a basement. This is the best tornado shelter. But if a room without windows or basement is not available, then shut all the doors and windows of the houses and take shelter under a study table. Bend down on your knees and protect your head and neck using your arms. Stay indoor until it is safe to come out. If a person is in vehicle when a tornado begins, he should come out of the vehicle or low-lying area and lie flat in it. We have to stay away from fallen electrical wires and stay out of damaged area. Students, I hope that you all have understood how these cyclones and tornadoes are formed and how they are so destructive. Students, as now we are at the end of the chapter, let us revise what we have learned in this chapter. We have learned that the layer of air above the earth is called atmosphere. And this atmosphere exerts a pressure called atmospheric pressure due to the weight of air contained in it. We have learned that all the phenomena such as wind, storms and cyclones occur in the earth atmosphere. We have learned two properties of air, that air exerts pressure and air expands on heating. We have also learned that winds are produced due to the uneven heating between the equator and poles. And wind is also produced due to the uneven heating of land and water in oceans. We have learned how thunderstorms are formed and what are the precautions which we have to take during a thunderstorm. We have also discussed how cyclones are formed and what are the distraction caused by cyclones. We have also learned some effective safety measures which we have to take during a cyclone. And at last, we have discussed how tornadoes are formed and how this can cause destruction and how we can protect ourselves from our tornadoes. With this, we end our chapter. Thank you for joining the class.